more and more construction companies have been leveraging Smartsheet. They're finding out the secret that, hey, this is so much more than just some other spreadsheet platform. In fact, that couldn't be further from the truth. Smartsheet can be used for so many things, for automations, workflows, dashboards that give you very clean and concise information, that has forms that you can fill out on your phone. For instance, you got your supervisors, your leads on site, and they're filling out their DFRs, or their punch list. They can do it right from their phone, right from their tablet. They do not need to be a licensed user to do so. As soon as they click submit, or they get into an area where they finally have Wi-Fi, it automatically submits for them. Either way, it gets sent to the PM. The PM receives all the information they need to make their updates, or automatically updates all of their information for them in real time, reflects in a dashboard, so on and so forth. It eliminates so many wasted hours of pen and paper, things getting lost in the work truck, losing time, losing track of, end dates, start dates, where were we at on this? It eliminates all of that confusion, and it helps create clear and concise information that the PMs need to make, while eliminating the wasted hours that nobody wants to spend time doing, and quite frankly, should not have been doing to begin with. All right, let's dive in to Smartsheet for your construction company. Hey guys, welcome to Workflow My Workload. I am your guide, Justin Razio, and I am certified in Smartsheet, both product certification and solution certified, and I've been in the construction industry for many, many years. I've been in the construction industry for, it's since 2005, so that's going on 18 years. I've been in and out of the construction industry, and I cut my teeth as a carpenter. Started getting into windows and doors, doing installs, all residential work. I got into some bathroom remodel, doing tile, basic plumbing, so on and so forth. Worked for a concrete company for a few years in the office, and it was then that when I got into that office, I got exposed to Smartsheet. Now at that time, they just had Smartsheet. They weren't really leveraging it. They was just one platform among many other platforms that they had. And it was those years at that company that I cut my teeth on Smartsheet. And what ended up happening was Smartsheet helped alleviate all the other platforms, took away all the other clutter, because everything was, it is, you got 5 different platforms and you try to make them all talk to each other. Accounting talk to this, and CRM talk to this, and you got to keep the files here, but then it's got to move over here when it's done. And it was just a lot of unnecessary work. And Smartsheet helped alleviate all that. Smartsheet created seamless workflows and made project management very, very simple. And it cut out all the wasted hours and time of pen and paper, things getting lost in the work truck, trying to get updates, getting a late update 2, 3, 4 days, the punch list items, having to keep asking for new punch lists, it's just erased all of that mess, all of that clutter. And if you are a construction company right now, and you're using pen and paper, God forbid you're using pen and paper, or maybe you're trying to do your job, through Excel, this video is for you. Because let's face it, I know you've been pulling your hair out, you've been have headaches, things are wasting, and you're seeing these other construction companies, maybe you're a subcontractor, or even a GC, a general contractor. You're seeing these other companies rise to the top, and you're like, man, how are they doing it? How are they lowering their overhead? How are they doing this? And that is because construction companies are leveraging platforms like Smartsheet and Smartsheet itself. Smartsheet helps eliminate all of that extra, those hours, the time wasted, which lowers your overhead. And not only does it do that, it creates a cleaner picture so that your PMs can make the right decisions that they need to make. It allows the guys in the field to fill out their updates right then and there on their phone. It's a lot quicker. And if it's quicker and easier to use than even pen and paper, then that means the PMs are going to receive their updates in a more timely manner. The answers are going to be more concise, more accurate, and it just makes for an overall better workflow. Now, the guys in the field filling out the DFRs and the PM's getting their updates. That is just not even the tip of the iceberg what Smartsheet can do for your construction company. So whether you're a subcontractor or a GC, I want you guys to pay attention to this video. And before I get ahead of myself, if you haven't already, I got a full-length, full lesson of Smartsheet that you can look in the bio below. I also have this free guide right here. It's a free guide I created just for you, for anyone in your company that is maybe starting to use Smartsheet. It's the top 32 functions that Smartsheet users use. I created that for free. It explains what they are and how to use them. And so don't forget to grab that free guide for yourself. So today we're simply going to fill out a DFR, and we're going to do it from the phone. And you're going to see how the PM can receive that information, so the guys on site can fill it out before they even leave on site, before they even walk back to the truck. And the PM gets everything they need in real time, and everybody goes home happy. All right, let's dive into this first of many videos of Smartsheet for your construction company. All right, in this video, we're going to go ahead and create a DFR, or a daily field report. Some construction companies call it a DPR, or a daily progress report. For this one, this will be one and the same. We'll just call it a DFR going forward. And scenario is we just want to create a basic sheet that is connected to a form that whenever a superintendent, a foreman, a lead, even a field tech is on site and they need to fill out their dailies, at the end of the day, for 10, 12-hour days, time to fill out their paperwork, we're going to go ahead and have them fill this out on their phone. And it's going to be much more efficient for them to knock it out on their phone for multiple different reasons, which I'll get into later on. And after they click submit on their phone, or once their cell phone gets into cell service, it will automatically kick over into the master DFR sheet instantly. And that way the project manager, the PM, or who's ever managing that project will instantly receive the daily field report. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with creating the daily field report. I'm going to start here on the home screen, and I'm going to go ahead and click the add button here. Actually, let's go ahead and go to the folder here. I made a workspace called construction, and let's go ahead and create a grid, and let's call this DFR. Call it DFR logs, daily field report logs. All right, so we're going to click on the sheet, and by default it gives us 6 nice looking columns here, but I want to go ahead and create the form first. So in order to do that, I'm just going to go up here and click forms, click create form, and automatically put in the name of the sheet for me here, but I want to change the name. I'm going to call it DFR Form. Put in description, please fill out to the best. All right, and I'm doing this on the lowest tier level so that anyone with a Smartsheet license can go ahead and create this. If you have a higher tier license, just know that you can change the background color. You can also, instead of putting in just a basic color, you can put in like a picture. Most people, what they do is they'll go ahead and change the color, the hex code of their company brand on the form, and then here where it says Smartsheet, you can change it and put your company logo here. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to do it on the lowest tier here for you guys. All right, first things first is we want to go ahead and give rhyme to our reason. So I always like to put a header at the beginning of the form. Again, we're creating a form that the guys in the field are going to see. And as we all know, most guys in the field, they're not very tech savvy, so we need to make it as simple as possible. All right, so I'm going to go and grab the header up here. And I'll go ahead and put in job information. And for the first column here, the primary column, this is an important column. It just simply means later on as you're doing reporting and different things, it's going to be pulling off of this column. And so I'm going to go ahead and for primary column, I'm going to change the name to job number. Because when I'm doing reporting and I want to group things, I want it to be under the job number. Click OK. Next thing I'm going to do is the name. So I'm going to click on column 2. Go up here and change the name of the column. I'm going to say name of employee. I'm going to leave it as a text column. Click OK. Now notice here that I'm changing the column name right here. So I just changed that second column to name of employee. And what I mean by that is, let me go ahead and save it. Let's go back to the sheet. So right here, the column name is name of employee. But on the form, I don't actually want it to say name of employee. I want the column name to say that we just looked at in the sheet. But on the form itself, the person filling it out is going to be like, wow, name of employee, really? That's how you want me to fill this out? No, we're going to make this more personal. I'm going to click on this. Instead of up here, I'm going to click down here in the label and say your name. And if that is a little bit confusing, this will make, I promise you, will make sense in just a couple minutes when we actually fill out the form together. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill out this next form, and I'll say your name, and we'll go ahead and say maybe scope of work. Let's copy that. I also want that to be the same name as the column. And maybe I want this to be a drop down. And again, for all intents and purposes, I'm going to be extremely basic. So maybe we're a, I don't know, concrete company. And we'll say clean and seal, save. Now you can do literally hundreds of different options of drop downs. I'm just going to do 3 for now. And if you want the availability to be able to choose multiple options at once, you just click toggle this on, allow multiple values per cell. But for this one, I'm just going to do single. So click OK. Before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'm actually going to open up the form just so you guys get a good idea of what this is actually looking like on their end on the phone. So I'm going to click open form. Is what they see so far. So they put in a job number. Maybe it's 23-111. Your name. My name is Jimmy. Scope of work. Today we did clean and seal. And that's all we've created so far. We got the options here. I can click submit. And it will do that. And we can update all of this as we see fit. All right, so that's just to give you an idea of what that form is going to look like. Maybe I want to make some of these fields required. Like I don't want them submitting the form until they've put in a job number. So you're just going to toggle the required here. I'm going to do your name. I want to always make sure that they put in their name. So I'm going to click on this field and click required as well. Scope of work, make that required as well. And maybe I want to know how many guys on this job. Put in the label itself. How many guys on site today? So again, notice the question on the form is how many guys on site today, but the sheet, the column name will be, oops, I didn't save it, will be number of guys. There we go. Maybe I want to know material used. Name of the column is just going to be material, but the label on the form is going to be the next one. Just know you can have way more than just 6, and I'll show you how to add them in just a second. Next one, maybe it's was a safety meeting held. Again, the column name is just going to be safety meeting, but the label was, whoa, let's try that again. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this a drop down. values are going to be yes, no. And what I can do on this one is on this drop down value, I'm going to click on the field. I'm going to do a horizontal radius button. So it's yes or no. All right, so we got to have some questions in here. Maybe I want to add something where they can upload pictures of the day. So I just click right here, File, Upload. We only get to do that once on the form, so I'm going to put it at the bottom. And here I'm going to help text. I'm going to put in, please upload photos, videos, tech data, sheet, PDFs, etc. The work done today. Again, this form is very, very basic, but this is just to give you an idea of what you can do with this form. You can add multiple headers, multiple dividers. Maybe this header is just going to say photo upload. Maybe I want a divider. I'm doing dividers are good, like maybe we're doing different scopes of work. You can divide it. All right, so let's go and make the rest of these required. All right, and maybe instead of how many guys on site today, I might want to know how many hours they work today. Let's add that. So to do that, I'm going to click New Field, because we're adding new ones now. And I'm going to do how many hours worked. Do a text, click OK. What I can do is I can click and I can drag where I want that to be. So I want it to be under how many guys on site today. And by default, the column name is also the label, but maybe I want to change it. How many hours did the crew work today? And what I can do in order for my formulas in the future to work is if I want to pull graphs, reports, etc. on the hours that were used, I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to click number only under validation. And what that means is they are forced to put in a number. They can't put in any text field. And I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go and fill this form out together. Click Save. Click on Form. So I'm going to put in the job number. Maybe it's 23-888. My name is Billy Bob. Scope of work, and maybe we did residence flooring today. How many guys on site? There was 5. How many hours did the crew work? They worked an 8-hour day. What material was used today? Resinous material A and B. Safety meeting held? Yes. Upload some photos. Again, all this can be done on the phone, and this is how the phone view will look. And vertical. Upload a document there. And we'll go ahead and click Submit. And there we go. And if you want to change the wording here, some people don't care about it, some people do, you can. To do that, you just go up to Settings, and you can change if you have the photo or logo, if it's going to be on the left or right behind the form. Right here, this is where you can change it. You can literally type whatever you want. Please have a nice day. Instead of having this banner show up when they submit it, you can actually have it where that reloads the exact same form instantly. This is nice for other instances when you're using forms, or you can send the user to a direct link. It could be any URL, maybe the company dashboard, maybe the company website, whatever you want that to be. But for all intents and purposes, we'll leave it here. For the new submissions, most people like to have the submissions, the newest submissions, show up on the bottom of the sheet. So I'm going to leave it as is, and we'll go ahead and click Save. All right. So let's go to our DFR log. I'm going to go ahead and refresh it here. So let's see our submission that we just submitted just about a minute ago. And there it is. Job number, Billy Bob, residence flooring, number of guys, material used. And so what I can do is I can drag and move these columns around. In Excel, it's pretty hard to do that, but Smartsheet makes it very easy. And when I move the columns around, it actually does not change on the form. The form will stay the same, so that's really nice. So maybe I want to add some columns here that I do not want to show up on the form. Maybe I want to know number of guys, how many hours worked. Maybe I want to do a formula to know what that entails. So 5 times 8 is 40. So we'll go ahead and shrink these guys down a little bit. And let's do this. Oh, and for those photos, obviously you can upload multiple photos, multiple PDFs, videos, you name it. It's going to be on the paper icon right here. Click on that. It shows up right here. And here's the photo that I attached. You can click on it. You can view it. Do whatever you want with it. And again, I did it by clicking on the paper clip right here. Okay, so let's add a quick column to add these up. I'm going to right click on this column and click insert to the right. We'll say total hours. Do text. Click OK. And do a very simple formula. I'm going to do equals sum means to add, and I'm just going to click on the cell. I want this asterisk times this. Click enter. 40. Now as these submissions start coming in, I want this column to keep adding those up automatically. And so if we get a bunch of these submissions coming in like that, I want this column to automatically add for me going forward. So in order to do that, you can actually embed a column formula. That means forever and a day, it will automatically do the formula for you in this column. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to right click into that formula, go all the way down to the bottom, click convert to column formula, and there it is. Maybe these guys worked, maybe there were 6 guys on that day, maybe these guys worked 12-hour days. Automatically the numbers are adjusting for me. And then what I can do is specifically under this job, I can actually create a report for all the different job numbers that are going on, and it adds up all the total hours for me. Or you don't have to do that. But I have other videos on that. You can look at the tag for creating a report and what that entails, what that looks like. But this is the basics of filling out a DFR form and adding columns, arranging columns on the sheet itself. All right, you guys, the last thing I wanted to let you know is that form right here. So this is very important. If you click on forms and you click manage forms, so if you hover your cursor over here, you got 3 options. This is to open the form, to fill it out. This is to copy the form URL. This is where it's really important. If you click on this link right here, it says copy form URL. Now I've copied that to a clipboard. I can now take this form, the URL of this form, and embed it anywhere, on a website, QR code, you name it. And in fact, let's go ahead and put it on a QR code, because maybe you have a QR code and you post it on the job site. Now anybody with a phone can scan it and fill out the form. They do not need a Smartsheet license. I'll repeat that. They do not need a Smartsheet license. Anybody with a smartphone can fill out this form. All right, in order to do that, they just got to scan a code. If, say, you don't have the link on a website for them, they're on the job site, they just need a QR code to scan with their smartphone or iPad, whatever. Let's go ahead and create a QR code really quickly. There's a place called QR Monkey. You can set them up for free. All right, I'm going to paste in the form link, set the color. I always leave it black and white, but just know you can mess with the colors. I have noticed that the colors, the background colors, don't let the black and the white get too similar, like, orange and yellow, because some phones can have it hard to read. I'm just going to leave it black and white. If I want to add a logo, and I don't want to add a logo. I'm just going to keep it really, really simple. So I went ahead and pasted my information in there. And I'm going to go ahead and just click create QR code. There it is right here. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, I challenge you, go ahead and take your phone out right now, scan this QR code, and it will take you to the form that I created for this video that you can fill out. And careful what you fill in that form, because I will see that on the log. But I just wanted to test it and show you guys that anybody can fill out this DFR form. They do not need a Smartsheet user license to fill out the form. And this QR code will last forever. It doesn't, go out in 6 months or a year. It lasts forever. And that is how you create a very, very simple DFR and its associated log. And how to do some simple math to help you keep it organized. Again, I kept it very simple, but hopefully this helped somebody in the construction industry. I have background in construction, whether you're a subcontractor or a GC. I know this video was helpful if you are not leveraging Smartsheet. All right, you guys, take care. And as always, God bless.